of conflict. There are two ways to see people. You can see people as people, or you can see people as objects. When you see people as people, they count the same. Their hopes, their dreams, their values, their loves, their choices, their heart's desire are similar to you, and you can relate. So you see them as people, and we can say that your response is to who they are. When you see people as objects, they don't count the same. So we treat them resistantly. If you think of people in your life, there's people that you're resistant to, and there's people that you're responsive to. There's people that you get along with, that your heart is at peace with. And there's people in your life that your heart is at war. It comes in very subtle ways every day. Every day, in terms of going to the grocery store, well, I don't know if you've seen it. No, I'll tell you the story about going. I get two stories in my head at the same time. Pick that one. Okay. I was going on a plane to Belfast. I do some work in Northern Ireland, and I was getting on one of those overnight flights. And I was packing my bag, and I was one of the last people on the plane, and there was a guy digging in his seat, and he had a bag about the same size as mine. He was digging in his bag looking for his book or something, and I noticed that there was a slot in the overhead compartment just behind him. There was a last slot on the plane. I thought to myself, So I took my bag and I stuffed it in the slot and I sat down. He looked up and looked around, and he said, I can't find a place for my bag. He had to get the stewardess to help him out. And the stewardess found a spot for him at the back of the airplane. He's the last person off that flight. So in that moment, did I see him as a person or as an object? Did he count the same as me? No, I saw him as an object. Same flight. Well, a couple minutes later, about 4 seats up from me, there's a guy pops up and says, "Can I have your attention, please?" I said, "No, okay, this will be good." He said, "It's an all-night flight. We're flying with a 5-month-old baby. We're going to do our best to make sure that he settles, but just in case I brought you some of these." And he held up a box of those orange industrial earplugs. You know the ones I'm talking about, the orange industrial earplugs? And he offered to give those around. So in that moment, did he see us as people, or did he see us as objects? He saw us as people, because we counted the same. He was concerned for us. So every day we have these encounters in life. We have these encounters with people that we can find how we treat them. And the curious thing about this is, folks, when you treat them certain ways, they have the capacity to respond back to you that way. I remember doing a workshop with the gal, and we did a workshop trying to find the heart of peace with relationships, and she had a very difficult time with her mother. There was a lot of conflict, a lot of tension, a lot of resistance. And I saw her 2 weeks later in the mall, and she said, "My mother changed." I said, "Oh, did she? What course did she take?" "Well, she didn't take any course, but she changed." I said, "Well, wait a minute, don't you mean you gave her a new daughter to relate to?" She said, "Oh yeah, I gave her somebody new to relate to, because I tried to see her as a person instead of seeing her as an object." When you see people like that, they relate to you differently. Difficult people to get under your skin. I love flying. But one of the places in the airport that drives me nuts is the security checkpoint. And I often try to, as you can tell, I have lots of goodies and tools and tricks and stuff I take with me. So my bag is always very suspect. So my bag gets through it. I was running late I'm sorry, I should set this up. I was at the Belfast City Airport. I was running late to get a catch flight from Heathrow back to Halifax. And I thought, I got to get through this really quickly. So my bag goes to the X-ray machine. And I get the 5 words that no one in a hurry wants to hear. "Is this your bag, sir?" I said, "No, I've never seen that bag in my life, thank you very much." But it was my bag, of course, and the Irish checkpoint girl said, "Can I have your boarding pass, please?" So I gave her my boarding pass, and she puts on the gloves, and she's checking my bag, and I'm going berserk. I'm like, I'm saying to myself, on the inside, I'm going like this: "Will you please hurry, you stupid, I can't believe you're going to make me late," on the inside, but on the outside I'm going like, because if you show anything, what do they do, right? They slow down. So I'm going berserk. I got like a couple of seconds. I'm just picturing the door going, "We're calling Mr. Davison, last full call from Mr. Davison." The door closed right. Anyway, she quickly became the bane of my existence. She quickly became the most difficult person that I could possibly imagine. She quickly became my jerk for the day. So don't get the full meal deal. The full meal deal is what's called the sniff test. That's not a technical term. Just they do the chemistry check. So she changed her gloves. Now it was like she's at a bridal shop trying on gloves. She just goes, no, those don't fit. So she goes, I'm going, would you put the gloves on and do it like this? So she does the swab and she steps back like this. And tapping the foot and waiting for the little meter to pop off. And I'm going, I'm ballistic. She's the bane of my existence. I hate her. In fact, do I see her as a person or as a... She's an object to me. She's become my difficult person. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed she has like a vest on, right, with the security badge and stuff like that, but she also has a little pink ribbon. In the corner of my eye, I noticed a little pink ribbon. And I started saying this, and I started thinking, I wonder if she has it. I wonder if someone she knows has it. I wonder if a sister or a mother or an aunt or someone close to her has it. Then I started thinking about my friend Karen, who was just recently diagnosed with breast cancer. And she was going through quite an emotional struggle with that, as you can well appreciate. And in the time that it took me to process those thoughts, all the tension and resistance and annoyance of that lady just dissolved, because I found something in common with us. I found something that if there's time for a cup of tea, that we could actually have quite a conversation about it. And in that short period of time, my annoyance and my pissiness, if I can use that word, her difficult personness for me was dissolved. I actually had a heart at peace. When the heart's at peace, the heart's grateful. And I could look at her and I could actually say to her, and she passed me back the boarding pass, and I took my boarding pass and I said, ma'am, I looked her in the eye and I said, ma'am, I want to thank you, very sincerely, I want to thank you for how you so carefully checked our bags so we could fly safely in the skies today. She took a little step back, she said, "Oi, we don't get many people saying that." And a couple minutes earlier, I would have said, "I bet you don't, lady." But in that moment, my heart was at peace, and then my difficult pain in my existing person went from an object to a person again. So here's my question. The difficult people yak. The difficult people yak. How much do you contribute to the difficultness of the person? How much do you hold that? And if there's any difficult people in your life, is it possible for you to find the humanity and someone make a connection to them? Even though they're a jerk, even though they do things that drive you nuts, is it possible for you to change the chemistry of the connection and stop seeing them as a person or as an object and start seeing them as a person? Because for everyone you know, be kind. For everyone you fight is meeting a hard battle. It's fighting a hard battle. The quote that I like to put this on here, if you want to jot this one down, is that difficult people will not fail attempts at being me. They're unique expressions of the human spirit and deserve to be loved for who they are. Even the most difficult person. So if there are any acts that are coming at you that are difficult people, to what degree can you see the humanity, and to what degree can you dissolve that difficultness into a little toy of the yak about that big? I just made that up. It's difficult people yak. Checking it out. The attitude yak. The attitude yak. This is how high can you go? The attitude yak is all about the mind. It's all about how we think about how things around. It's all about our attitude, our approach to life, our perceptions, if you will. And there's a lot of work done on research on the mind. I'm fascinated by the mind for a couple of reasons. One is that mind's starting to mellow away. Or my left hand's, you know what I'm saying? My brain's fried right here, right over here. So it's affecting the rest of the body. So my brain's fried. So I'm fascinated by how the brain works. And there's a whack of stuff on this, but I just want to give you a couple of thoughts and ideas around how we can choose our thoughts. So here's an exercise I'd like you to try out. Can you say the color, not the word? See if you can do that. Say it aloud. Say the color, not the word.
Oh, I say how to do it.
Do you know why it's hard? Because your right brain's having an arm wrestle with your left brain. The right brain's saying, "No, say the color. I love the color. I love color. I'm in the color. I really like color." The left brain's saying, "No, the word is the thing you really should say because it's the word that's most important in that sentence." So the color's word, color word. So you kaboom. Now often we don't get to choose a perception, but in this case we get to choose. what we want to say. We can say the color, we can say the word, and we have to stick to that choice in order to set our perceptions out. Say the color, okay. So the monkey mind. I brought with me a little small exercise today. I think I'm going to make some time for it, although our time's getting a little tight because I want to play this little game in the back of the room here. I'd like to do a meditation with you, if you don't mind. It's a chocolate meditation. Would you like to have a chocolate right now? So please take a piece of chocolate out. Don't eat it. Don't unwrap it at this point. Don't eat just yet. We'll have a little fun with it. So we're going to do a chocolate meditation. It's a guided meditation. I'm going to guide you into well, how can I put it? Into seducing this piece of chocolate. Now, this is actually high quality chocolate, by the way. It's dark chocolate with very little filler, so it's not headache chocolate. It's good chocolate. But if you're not a chocolate fan, just appreciate the meditation. So we're going to take 5 minutes to make love to this little piece of chocolate right here. So, close your eyes. I'm not going to appeal to the sight. We're not going to do the sense of sight because it's a very dominant sight. We're going to appeal to 4 other senses. We're going to appeal to touch, to taste, to smell, and to what's the other one? Feel. So what I'd like you first to do is to appreciate the sense of your sense of hearing, and I'd like you to undress your piece of chocolate. Just listen to the silk flowers falling to the floor. Just undress it very slowly. And keep your eyes closed to maximize the senses. And I'd like you to feel your chocolate. Feel the contours and the shapes and the grooves of your chocolate. Just get in touch with the tactile sensation of this little piece of chocolate. And as we embrace this chocolate into our life and take a moment to have a meditation around enjoying a piece of chocolate, not just scarfing it down like some people do, but to really enjoy this chocolate, I'd like you to just feel the shapes and the contours as we make love to this piece of chocolate. And if you're a good lover, the chocolate should be melting in your hands. So the next thing we're going to do a little smell test. So I'd like you to hold a piece of chocolate up to one side of your nose or the other. And we're just going to pass the chocolate across the front of our nose while we take an inhaling breath. You ready? Through the nose. Ready? Inhaling. Just a little tease. And back again. Just take an inhale while the chocolate goes by your nose. Opening up the olfactory senses that go directly to the brain, stimulate some wonderful endorphins and the happy juice. And now put the chocolate up to your nose and take a deep inhale. So exhale first, of course. Exhaling now. And take a long, slow count of 7 inhale. Counting 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And breathing. Get that little sensation of chocolate in your nose. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to have a little tease of chocolate on our lips. I'd like you to wet your lips, please. Keep your eyes closed and wet your lips. And just take one swipe of the chocolate across your bottom lip. Just one swipe across your wet lip. And then you can smack that as if you're putting on lipstick. You get that little tease, a little temptation, a little chocolate experience that begs you to have more. Let's put it one more time. This time, push your lips together and rub the chocolate across both lips. Put a little pressure on it this time to get more chocolate adhering to your lip. Now we've appealed to the sense of hearing, to our touch, and to our smell, and we're just teasing ourselves into the sense of taste. So what I'd like you to do next is to liberate. Use that word very carefully, not because chocolate lovers do not scarf chocolate down. They don't snarf it down. They liberate chocolate from itself. So like take the tiniest little piece off the corner of the chocolate with your teeth. Tiniest little piece. And let that roll around with your tongue. We're having a waltz with your tongue right now. We're waltzing with a little piece of chocolate. Da 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 da. You can tango if you want. You can cha-cha. You can waltz. But it's also lots of fun to dance with a little piece of chocolate. I wonder who she's taking a picture of. Now, we'll do one more liberation. This time, liberate a slightly larger piece off your chocolate. And as you do so, say thank you to the chocolate for this little morsel. Thank you for sharing with me the goodness of the cacao and the chocolate. And let this one dance. You can pick another dance. I recommend the rumba or the cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha, cha-cha-cha. You can dance this little piece of chocolate. Now, as you can probably imagine, we could continue for another 5 or 10 minutes doing this. But there are a few more things I'd like to share with you. So what I'd like you to do is take a nice deep breath before you open your eyes. And then slowly open your eyes and come back to the room and finish your chocolate as you will. The purpose of the exercise is twofold. Oh, look at you. You're a hot lover, boy. You're a hot lover, that's great. Kleenex, this please.
Not much in the hot cake, but we're going to try this with a point of beer.
Just nurse that. Just seriously. The beer meditation. You got to be thinking now. Just pass it in front of your nose. Have a nice long sip. Because folks, our society is very crude. We have fast food. We have fast cars. We have fast. It's beautiful and wonderful and magnificent to slow down and to really enjoy something for a couple of reasons. One, because life is too short. And two is when you're in the moment, this moment, eating a piece of chocolate, nothing else matters. So that's why we call it meditation. So beer meditation, I'm totally adding that to my repertoire. I love that. You can do it with food, you can do it with walking. You can walk as you walk. You just take a breath and walk very slowly, very deliberately. Be mindful of your walk, be mindful of your pace. You can do it all over the place. I just want to share the monkey mind. The monkey mind is worry, guilt, and fear. The monkey mind, worry, guilt, and fear. So to deal with the monkey mind, the attitude of the monkey mind, you can do that. Now, just a quick little exercise. Once you start to see things differently, once you open up your perceptions and your attitude changes, you can't unsee things. So I want you to have a look at this little diagram and see if you can see the symbol that's in deep, symbol that's within the symbol, the perception within the perception, if you will. There's FEDEX, that's there, but there's something else that's involved in that. Can you see it? I'll make it a little bigger for you. Can you see something else? There's another message, another symbol. Does it help if I make it bigger for you? I'll tell you, I'll give you a little hint. See that? Do you see the arrow? See the little arrow right there? Can you see the arrow? Have your perceptions open up a little bit on that? Can you see the arrow now? Can you see it now? Can you see the arrow now? Okay. So it's about opening perceptions to life to see the different parts of life. So the next time you see a FedEx truck, I want you to say, look, there's a damn arrow. But I also want to ask you the question, do you have an open mind that sees both sides of the story? Because often when people come to you in distress or trouble, they have a closed mind. And one of your jobs is to try to help open their mind. And when they can open their mind, they have more mastery over their life. So that's part of the attitude yak, is to be able to see a bigger picture instead of the small picture. I want to share with you a very specific principle called the 1090 principle. To get across this notion around that we have more choice over our thoughts than we think we do. What is life can be seen as 10% event, stuff that happens to you, and 90% how we think about it. So stuff happens. We have marriages. That's an event. How we think about that is over here. We have kids doing well in school. That's an event. How we think about it's over here. We get stuck in traffic. So that's an event outside of control. We can't control that. We're stuck in traffic. How we think about it is over here. In fact, the phrase goes like this: life happens, then you get to choose. So life happens. We get diagnosed with stuff, illness. Then you get to choose. You go through school and you drop out of school in grade 8. That's a fact. That happens, right? Then you get to choose. So what's with the choice? There are really two choices that I work with. One is the attitude of gratitude. Gratitude attitude. Can you say gratitude attitude? Gratitude attitude? Okay, or it's what I call stinking thinking. Can you say stinking thinking? Now, can you say stinking thinking with a more of a country twang? Stinking thinking. Because it makes a great country song. Stinking thinking is most of what country songs are all about. And I love country music. I listen to 101 FX 101 all the time. So stinking thinking or attitude of gratitude. So life events happen to us, and then we get a choice. We get to choose what our thoughts are, what our attitude jack's going to be. So I had a diagnosis. I've been practicing since 2005. I had a year of stinking thinking. I can tell you the whole story about that. I'm actually writing a book about it. A year of stinking thinking where I didn't tell anybody. I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. I climbed mountains. I kayaked all around the world. I'm a physically active, kind of go kind of guy, right? And so I had stinking thinking for a year. And I never told anybody until I met Andrea, who I dated 18 years earlier. And I had to tell her that I had Parkinson's, so she sort of broke the bubble on me. So Andy and I got together in 2006. We got married in 2007. We tried for a baby. We had no luck. We tried in vitro, it didn't work. Miscarriage, it didn't work. So we decided to get a puppy. They do the same thing as the babies do. They poop everywhere, right? So we got a puppy. The Labor Day weekend of 2008, we got a call from my wife's twin sister, and here's my 10% event. Events can happen to you, then you can choose, or events can come up to you, and there's two kinds of life events that are outside of our control. The events that happen now, and events that are going to happen. It's the same principle that goes with each one. So the events that was going to happen was this. I got a call from my wife's twin sister, and the weekend we took the puppy home. September weekend of 2008. My wife's twin sister asked us a question that changed the course of her life. It was an event that's going to happen. Behind our back, without us knowing it, she found a young lady, a young girl, 16 years old, that wanted to make an adoption plan for a baby. And my wife's twin sister gave this young mom, who the baby was not born yet, but gave the young mom the profile of us, and she proved us to be the adopted parents. We knew nothing of this, nothing. We got a phone call. Pete, Andrew, it's Angela here. You're sitting down, and the first thing in your mind is, something bad's happened, right? So you should be sitting down. So I got a question for you. If a baby dropped in your lap, would you keep it? If a baby dropped, so the event is a baby being born. It's coming, right? So now, what do I say about that? Life happens, and then you get to choose. There are two choices: gratitude, attitude, and stinking thinking. Well, my wife is like, oh, she's gone, right? She's like getting everything ready. I was actually pretty good until I came to the social worker. We went to the social worker, and the social worker said, I should let you know that 50% of the birth moms will change their mind after the baby's born. And my stinking, 50%, half of them. And my stinking thinking started. And I thought, oh, we're not going to get the baby. Something like this. Then the stinking thinking continued when I heard through the grapevine that the birth dad gave the birth mom a ring. I didn't know which finger, but it didn't matter. My stinking thinking. I bought the crib. And I kept the box and the receipt just in case. Stinking thinking. And then we had to go and we actually met the birth mom. We met the birth mom and the birth dad, and we had to disclose our medical history. You want to know what their medical history is. You want to know about diabetes and heart disease and stuff like that. But they wanted to know and they wanted to know ours. And I thought, what does a 16-year-old girl know about Parkinson's? She's probably seen Michael J. Fox. You see Michael J. Fox on the Oprah show? Well, he was swinging. He was doing the Parkinson's boogie that day. He was swinging, going like trying to walk, right? And I said, she's going to think I'm going to drop the baby. She's going to think I can't take care of the baby. It's going to be a deal breaker if I tell her about Parkinson's in my stinking thinking little mind, right? So I shared with the 16-year-old girl, and she had a bigger mind than I did because she said, so what, now what? And Hannah was born November 28th. She'll be 3 next week, or in a week and a half. And in Nova Scotia, you have to wait 2 weeks before you take the baby home. Why? So the birth mother can change her mind. Well, it actually didn't matter much because on December the 16th, I was driving down the road with my new little baby in the back seat, my wife in the back seat. It was a cold December day, and it was like just a gray, drabby day, and I started to tear up because I realized that the joy I'd been sitting on was all made up. All the stinking thing that I had made up. It got so bad I actually started writing a country song. When my stinking thing got so bad. You probably know somebody that has a pity party when they're stinking thinking, they're a little pity party. I wrote a country song. Want to hear it? Okay, here we go. Me, 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 me. I got stinking thinking on the road to Pity City. That's all I got so far. But I tell that story because the yak of stinking thinking is a very powerful yak. And I have a question for you. With all the joy and the beauty in your life, where are you still sitting on your joy because you're stinking thinking? And I'm asking you that first because you're going to work with people that have stinking thinking. But I want to make sure that you've got yourself. I want to make sure your backpack is clean. Where do you sit on your joy because you're stinking thinking? Because it was like we're sitting on joy. There's a baby, we have a gift of a child, and all around us, right? But the joy has been squashed by my stinking thinking. So where do you sit on your stinking thinking? Where do you sit on your joy because you're stinking thinking? Where do you let the yak of stinking thinking knock you off the beautiful path that you have because you have an attitude adjustment problem? Would you like to see a picture? I'm a proud dad. I have a picture. We kept the dog. I actually recycled the box too. Recycled the box, kept the dog. Now that was a couple of years back. This is the more modern version right here. The dog's still kicking around. But now, just by way of wrapping this up, stinking thinking is a pretty powerful force in our lives, and I'm sure, in fact, I know for sure that your learners have a lot of stinking thinking. Where you can help them convert that to gratitude is a very powerful act. But what I'm saying is, you have to do it first. You have to live yourself. You have to be the change with your learners that you want to be. It's really powerful stuff because they look up to you not for what you say, but for who you are and what you do. Let me give you an example. Just make an OK sign. Would you be so kind? Make an OK sign. Now put that on your chin. Your chin. So people respond to who you are, not what you say. So make sure that your stinking thinking is in check before you try to help other people with their stinking thinking. Otherwise, it's called baggage that you're trying to work out. If I can be so blunt. So, one more show of hands. How many people have heard of a couple that couldn't have a baby and adopted a baby and had their own? I'll put you in. The rest you can put your hands up. He's my November guy. He was born in April. He was born the old. No, a little emotional. He was born the old-fashioned way. It was a warm summer evening. Anyway, that's my boy. Now, the reason I put that in there is because one of the things with Parkinson's is that my future's not very friendly. Just having Parkinson's. But when you got kids, you got something to live for. And then when you're an unsung hero and you're working for something bigger than yourself, there's a lot of joy in that. So why am I sharing with you the 3 acts that can knock you off your path? Because you folks have something really powerful to do. You've got something to do that's greater than you. When you're hooked into that, it's really powerful stuff. The future becomes very friendly indeed. Oh. Yeah, okay, we'll do this little activity. There's a washer and string at your table. This is something you can do with your learners for sure. Please tie one on. you're encouraged to time it on during the time of the day. So your time it on, I'll do a little exercise around the power of us to choose our thoughts. Life happens, events happen. We cannot stop life from happening, but life happens, and then you choose. Then you get to choose. So time it on, if you be so kind. It should look something like that. I'd like to do a little mental exercise with you. I would definitely encourage you to share this with your team, with your staff, with your team, with your learners, with your kids, because it makes a point that I can't make by myself. Okay, should look something like this. Have you tied one on? You good? Okay. Hold it up so the washer is the nose height. And make sure your arm is very steady. Make sure the washer is very steady. In fact, the best thing to do is put your feet flat on the floor to really ground yourself. The more grounded you are, the better off you are. Rise up, rise up. Hallelujah, brother. Okay, so ground yourself. So the nose height. Do not breathe on the washer. Make sure it's still. We're going to make the washer move with the power of our suggestion. Okay. We're going to make it move to the left, to the right. We're going to say left and right. Make it move. So start with it steady. Do not move your arm. Start with it steady. And as a group, we'll say left and right. You ready? Left, right, 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 left, right. Bring it back to still, 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 still. Now steady it again with your hand. This time we're going to try another direction, but I'm not going to say the direction out loud. I'm going to invite you to think it. The direction we're going to move it is in and out. Okay, so think in and out. Don't say it. Just see if you can get that going. Make sure it's still before you start. Steady your arm. If you want to shake it out, shake your arm out a little bit. You steady it first, and I'll say it once, but you think in and out. And then when I say Q for still, then you think still. You ready? Think in and out. Say in and out over again. In out. In out. Think still. Just think it. Think it still. And hold it for, hold your watch. Do you want to try one last direction? Is it working for you? Is it working?
Yeah.
Working? Okay. Let's try one more. You can either say it out loud, you can say it silently. It's up to you. We'll do roundabout, okay? So bring it up. Steady it. Do not move your arm. Say with your other hand. Let's try roundabout. Okay, roundabout. Say it or think it. It's up to you. Say it or think it. Roundabout. 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 And say or think still. 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 Okay. There may be a place for in teaching for that. Feel free to take it home. Feel free to go to Canadian Tire and buy your own washers. So we shared the attitude acts, folks. We shared the attitude acts. Why? Because they will knock you off your path, and your path is important. Your path as an unsung hero devoted to literacy in this province is more important than what you're calling it, your career. So who's the happiest people at work? Guess who it is? Hairdressers. Clergy. Chefs and beer testers, that third in the list. Can you imagine why? And you. I call you literacy folks. Here's your quote. This is the quote for you, the unsung heroes, the servant leadership. Everyone is a power for greatness, but not for fame, but for greatness, because greatness is determined by service. Greatness is determined by service. The unsung hero serves. That's what you do. You give to others, and when they succeed, you succeed. When I traveled around the world, I've been to 26 countries. I've taught in half a dozen of those. I find that people want three things in their life. They have three desires. And the degree to which you can help them fulfill their desires is the degree to which you will succeed. The three desires are to love and to be loved. That's the first thing, no particular order. To love and to be loved. To do right by your family, however you want to define your family. And the third thing is to make a difference with your time and talent. Serve something greater than you with your time and talent. Someone up the hill is going to get a house because of this guy. That's a big load. He's an unsung hero. They'll probably never know his name. And someone's going to build a house. Now I want to share something off your website. She's the winner this year, right? If you haven't seen her speech, it's beautiful. I want to share with you very specifically, she's the 2011 Adult Literacy Week Writing Contest winner. Her name is Sarah Bork, and she goes to Pecola. Who's anybody from Pecola? They couldn't come? That's too bad, because I'm going to celebrate them. So she's climbed her Everest. No, she's climbing her Everest. And she does it because it's Unsung Heroes. There's a whole thing on the website. If you haven't seen the website, it's a fantastic little video. Go check it out. But I want to read what she says about her unsung hero, Diane Vaughan. Our school would not be complete without Diane Vaughan. You can put your name in here, by the way. That is her job description, but most of all, she is a role model, a confidant and a friend. I'm inspired. I have a bad case of inspiritis. It's called inflammation of the inspiration. When I get inflamed, I leak. So a bad case of inspiritis. She's a role model, a confident friend. She guides and directs us and understands that as human beings, we're all unique and all have different ways of learning. And she learned nutrition, she learned a bunch of stuff. It's a beautiful story. And you are her unsung hero. All of you, because that's just one example of many that you work with every single day. The Dash, folks. This guy died in 1896, 1833, but his dash was what matters most. Alfred Nobel's name, he wanted to make some peace in the world. Do you know the Dash poem? How many people have heard the Dash poem? Beautiful poem, it's a great little poem. Google it, the Dash poem. I read of a man who stood to speak at a funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates of her tombstone from the beginning to the end. You know, the first came the date of her birth, and spoke the following day with tears. But he said what mattered most was the dash between those years. For it matters not how much we own, the house, the cars, the cash. What matters most is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. Unsung heroes have a beautiful dash to share with the world, folks. That's what you're up to. She's got a pretty cool dash. His is not too shabby. How about yours? The dash stuff. So when you get to heaven, folks, there are three questions, three interview questions. Did you know that? You thought you just walked in? Not so easy. Three questions. Question number one, did you find joy as unsung heroes? Did you give joy? And the last one's a multiple choice. Who's the best band, Beatles or Stones? There's no right answers to that. I want to close off this section with a little quote before we play our game. Wash and break, go ahead, take a pee break. There's a little game back there that's walk the talk stuff. We can talk about being servant leaders, we can talk about being unsung heroes, but there's a little game at the back of the room there that we can walk the talk. So I want to close off formally with this section. And once the slides are done, I'll invite you to have fun with the game, and we'll see how well you work together as an organization to get the job done. The world record for this game, by the way, is up here on the board. The world record is actually a tie, and I say it's a world record because there's a tie between Detox Services in Moncton and the Youth Action Northern Ireland in Belfast. So they actually have a tie game. So I wonder if this is going to be the tiebreaker today. We'll have to see. So we'll see how well you do on that to play the learner education model. So I have a little quote for you here, and it's called Success. And I want to close off with this to just bring it home a little bit around the quote. So take this home, theacthammer.com is in the back. Oh, by the way, if you want to know about laughter, just put ha 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 on the sheet, and I'll send you the laughter link. There's a booklet. I have a booklet on laughter exercise. They can do with your learners, with your staff, excuse me, and with your kids. So there's exercise you can actually do to laugh every day. And if you laugh 10, 15 times a day, you'll have enough endorphins to last for several hours. So I was going to use the figure speech. You'll be laughing, what you will be. So if you want to wake up happy, do Z, 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 Z. If you want the laughter guy, do ha, ha, ha. And there's some resources on the table over there. Grab a nose if you like. I brought some CDs. I also brought something else that helps me with perspective. This is my clock. It's 20 to 3. We have 20 minutes to play the game. I love this clock because it really messes people up. Because we think clocks should go the right way. That's a perception thing, right? But when you put that on the wall, people go, "What the hell is that?" And it gets people thinking differently. If we can think differently about our lives, I think we're better off. So I actually have 4 or 5 clocks over there if you'd like to buy one. All the money on that table goes to prostate cancer. By the way, there'll be 225,000 men diagnosed with prostate cancer this year. It's a lot. I'm not sure why that's emotional. Anyway, whatever. Anything you buy goes to them. So chuck $1 for a nose or a bag, or $10 for a bag. Success. I want to share this with you. Success is to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics, endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a literate adult, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to play with enthusiasm, sung with exaltation, to know that you have one life and it's breathed easier because you live. This is to have succeeded. So folks, this is the formal close to my talk. I want to thank you for being on some here from the street, but you know, there's a fact here, folks. There's a truth of life. I want to thank Jane for inviting me and thank Elaine for taking the photographs, but there's a fact here. The fact is this. You're going to go back, you're going to forget. You're going to forget that you make a difference to others for a reason, for a season, for a lifetime. And if you should ever forget that you're important, I want you to hum a little song with something like this. Thank you on behalf of Nova Scotians who have no idea what you do.